Hello everybody and welcome to the front 9 holes of the quarterfinals of the 2021 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship presented by Guaranteed Rate. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Nate Perkins. Nate, we have seeds 9 through 16 coming off of a first round bye, coming into round 2, and it's their first attack at this course.
I think that the people that played yesterday have a slight advantage. What do you think about that, Brian?
I absolutely agree with that. Obviously, they have a huge disadvantage of not being able to tie and play off to move on to the next round.
Yep.
You have to beat the person seated in front of you. So they already are at a huge disadvantage, but the fact that they got to play the newer layout with some of the changes under tournament pressure, huge advantage. Let's jump into hole number 1, 390-foot par 3. This is a fantastic starting par 3. It's challenging. There's daunting rough.
Sets the tone of the whole course, really.
Yeah, it shows you what Hornet's Nest is going to be right off the bat.
And again, we just have 12 players during this quarterfinal round and only 4 advance.
2021 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships presented by Guaranteed Rate. This is your 2:34 p.m. tee time. Up first, from Alpena, Michigan. Please put your hands together for Mr. Andrew Marwede.
And talk about a ridiculous finish to this season. Andrew has been the talk of the tour for the past month and a half.
And I think he has a really good shot out here at Hornet's Nest. Just so accurate off the tee with that forehand. I'm actually kind of surprised to see him not throw a flip-up forehand on this first hole.
Hailing from Creola, Alabama, please welcome Mr. Matt Orum.
And Matt kind of became a superstar this year. I mean, he's been doing it a long time. We noted in a previous round that he made the lead card at Worlds in 2005.
Yeah.
That was 16 years ago, everybody. That's insane. He's playing at an elite level. He's the 5th highest rated player in the world right now.
Yeah, it's awesome to have him out here at the world stage and in this tournament, the national stage.
Mr. Garrett Gurthie.
And that just needed a little bit more turn. Nearly a great shot.
Rounding out our card, from Santa Cruz, California, please welcome Mr. Matt Bell. Woo.
This is going to be a fantastic card to watch today. Matt being another player that plays phenomenal in the woods, one of the best putters in the world. Incredible scrambler.
Matt was actually the recipient of the bump after Eagle McMahon had to drop out due to a shoulder injury last minute. Matt got the first round bye, and Aaron Gossage flew back in from Colorado. So this is Matt's first go at Hornet's Nest this weekend.
Could be a drop-in par for Marwede. This is a kind of an uncomfortable hole if you get anywhere off the fairway on this. See Matt here having to find a small gap on this left side, and he makes it look easy. Is that a vine?
It is a vine.
So many beautiful mature trees out here at Hornet's Nest. You see so many cool trees and different bits of wildlife, lizards everywhere, snakes. And Matt's going to get up and down for his par. Garrett hoping to do the same here.
Do you think that we get a discount on mortgages now? Like we can
The
we can just
guaranteed
call
rate
them and say,
special?
I'm with disc golf. You think I could get a hookup on my APR?
You know, if you go live and do it for the fans, I think we would watch. I would definitely be tuning in.
It's pretty surreal to see guaranteed rate on these baskets, though.
It's unbelievable.
All right, hole 2. Everything that we're flying through right now is out of bounds. The gap, only 8 feet across. You have to clear this pond, and the island is out of bounds, playing as the hardest hole on the course. 0.33 strokes over par. The rope actually is past those walls, so you have to be inside the rope, not just inside the wall.
And instantly out of bounds.
And as soon as you miss the island, you proceed to the FPO tee pad, which is still short of the pond. Not a guaranteed up and down.
Oh, and Matt kind of backing off the disc a little bit, throwing a beautiful drive, soft landing. He should be at least on the edge of circle 1, short of the basket. Anytime you make the island on this hole, it feels good. Kind of a mad scientist move to make an island within the island with the OB off the shore a little bit. Kind of forces you to land the disc softly.
Definitely can't rely on that wall if you
Exactly.
slide past this pin.
And Garrett's coming in with a little bit too much pace.
Really?
Just
that
like
much
that?
pace though? That flew off the
Like,
island.
You know, you were talking yesterday. The ground on this island is hard pack and is covered in pine needles.
Yeah, it's got almost no friction. It's kind of crazy to watch a disc spin and just continue moving when you would expect it to stop. It just keeps sliding down the hill.
Oh, and that is wide. That needs to come back. And it's going to be rolling back towards the out of bounds. Let's see what the spotter gives him. And waves the green flag. He is safe by a foot. It's still going to be an obstructed putt, but about circle's edge for Matt.
What do you think that island was used for before it was an epic disc golf hole?
You know, I bet it was just a wonderful place that children went and played on. And now it is simply for disc golf.
Yeah,
Actually,
same thing, children playing.
I don't think, though, that they use this pin position for standard Hornet's Nest Park. Correct me if I'm wrong, locals that are watching this, but I don't know if this is a standard pin position all the time. And shout-outs to Holly Finley for smashing an ace on this hole.
Yeah, she hit an ace from the tee pad that we just saw Marwede and Garrett throw from. So very impressive.
It's a sick way to start your day. And so is that.
Just dropping those tight spirals right in, as Matteo would like to say. Tight spiral.
And a birdie on this hole takes almost a stroke and a half on the field. And Garrett is going to tap in a 5.
And that's exactly why it's playing as one of the hardest holes, or the hardest hole during round 2.
And Matt from an obstructed lie. also snags his birdie after a close call with the shore. You know, I like looking at the hole averages on this course for this tournament especially, because now, as Marwede also misses his bogey putt, it shows you a true average. There aren't any outliers that are having horrible, horrible days. The average is simply from the top 32 players in the world.
Face gold, your lips, your turning blue. Every song good, but every day get this up to you. No, get a field of grass. No, dance. Get a field.
And hole number 3, 674, par 4. A just subtle, ever so slight bend to the left off the tee to a landing zone that forces you to bend back to the right, around a corner, up the hill. So many subtleties to this hole that pretty much allows the player to throw quite a few different lines off the tee here.
Yeah, you really have to push this first shot straighter than you would initially think. It shapes left to right, but you really just want to be straight so that you can have that angle on your approach.
And that was so close from Matt. He was trying to throw a little push, flip up hyzer. And Matt trying to do the same thing. Ooh. It's fading out nicely. And he's in a decent spot, kind of off to the left side, but he's at least looking up the hill. Definitely a shot to get up and down for a birdie. And this is shaped up just perfectly for his bread and butter shot. And he has overcooked that one. Roll bounces back to the right, and that right side is not great. I think par at best here for him. There's that rock from Garrett. And even that was flipping up just a tad too much. And a forehand
off the
roller from
bridge.
Garrett. And that was inches from probably getting within circle one.
That would
What
be
a
incredible.
shot.
That skipped off the bridge.
Yeah, that was his stable champion Firebird. Oh boy.
That's the danger of this hole. You get early right and you try and cut the corner, you hit, and then you have to try and attempt this almost the same shot.
Yeah, I have been where Marwede is, and great shot from him there. But like you said, you're tempted to want to fight through the woods there. You look up and you see some of these 5-foot gaps, but there's so many sleeper trees behind him blocking you. Matt also missing the gap by just a little bit. This hole giving our cards some trouble.
I love watching that. I mean, just that exaggerated wrist curl and just uncoils out in front of his body and just makes the disc do exactly what he's visualizing.
Yeah, I mean, he's pulling his shoulder blades back, and he's really drawing the angle of the shot with his whole body. And just off the top for Garrett.
Man, Garrett and Andrew both are going to be 3 over par through 3 holes.
Oh, no. Hole number 3. And this is, I mean, even this early in the round, especially with this format, you start to feel like you have to be a superhero. And you have to just start plugging away trying to undo these bogey strokes quick. You don't have a second round to undo these.
All right, hole 4. This is a new tee pad this year. Got a low ceiling, power drive hyzer right here. It's easy to go too straight. You find that OB long. Ideally, you want to be left and toward the fence if you make the corner. And the fairway kind of winds back from left to right. It's kind of opened up a little bit more this year. There is a bunch of space to the right of that elevated pin.
That, yeah, just a bit too high. And birdie is instantly out of question here.
Yeah, unless he wants to try and get fancy with a big Annie over the baseball field.
That OB gets real tight up by the basket. Matt throwing a lot cleaner of a line. And yeah.
Yeah, he's made the corner. If you make the corner, being up against the fence is actually an advantage because it gives you more space for a forehand approach.
That's fading a little bit too far left. We'll see where he ends up. Actually gets a pretty fortunate rollout. Does he have the distance to go for the birdie? Like you said, it's about 380 to get to the far OB if you go straight off the tee.
That needs to start hyzering.
Oh, no. Is that too far? Keep going. Come on. Not enough, Skip, and that's going to be OB way back. And Matt falling over.
No.
And he's going to feel that one. That was a huge risk for him.
Yeah, definitely out of position on that shot. I was surprised to see him attack with a forehand right there. And oh, kind of a big misfire there from Marwede, and he finds the OB. What a disaster start for Andrew. And I mean, remember, only 4 people advance out of the 12 killers that are playing today. Really don't have time for these mistakes.
And Garrett's put his in bounds. He does have a bit of a death putt on the elevated basket. And Matt finally getting to line up his shot up against the fence. Oh, yeah, he's in a great spot. This is prime positioning. And that, if it skips...
Backwards? No.
Oh,
give him the green.
gosh.
Oh, my God. You don't see discs skip directly backwards like that very often. Oh, man,
Yeah.
it's fortunate that he's in bounds after that release.
So this is the 4th throw here for Matt. And that's going to be a tap-in 5. Back-to-back bogeys for Matt. Andrew just trying to get up and down here. Just off the top. Got some cold putters right now.
Yeah, back-to-back holes where we'd watched way too many shots.
And the
Everyone,
player-
did we
yeah.
just get an all-star bogey? No, Bell's going to par here. Okay.
And the players know what they need to start scoring, too. They saw what the numbers were yesterday. They need to start they need to start putting their foot on the gas at this point if they want to keep moving on.
You think you know Rose Namajunas? Rose lost her first title fight. Flat out lost. But right then and there, she made a decision to stop just fighting and start believing she would become a champion. And look who's number one now. Guaranteed Rate is a mortgage lender that helps people rise every day. Rise from where they live now to the home of their dreams. Because when you decide to believe, you will.
Hole number 5, 405-foot par 3. Couple different gaps you can choose. A few different lines you can take. We were watching some backhand flip-ups. We saw some flex sidearms. We even saw a couple of rollers. I think this is a great hole.
Yeah. You said it perfectly, Brian. This is the back of the landing zone for the previous par 4.
Yeah, normally you'd be thinking to yourself, do I want to go for it? Do I want to lay up? But you slap a tee pad there, and it definitely changes the psychology a bit. Here comes Matt with a roller. This looks good if it can
needs
slow
to
down.
Start curling. What a tree. Plant one for that one for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
Didn't-
going
It didn't look like
long,
it was
OB.
curling, yeah.
Just to lay the roller down that nicely, though, glad he hit that tree. And Matt going with the same line. Just needs it to stand up a little bit more. Oh, and he also hits it.
He got a better tree.
So players that want to throw the roller or learn how to throw the roller, watch the way Matt's body contorts. He's also closed off his stance. He's trying to send it more out to the left, elbow off the body. He draws the line right off the tee and then lets the stability of the disc land on the angle he wants. Rollers are tough. Rollers are very tough to lay down, but once you figure them out, a whole new world opens up for you. Oh, boy.
I just can't believe this start from Marwede. Ooh, another roller.
And this is checking up quicker.
Hit it.
Is it going to slow down?
Come on. Yeah, the crowd loves it.
He is
They were
just-
so stoked.
He's just tired of the stress already. And
Wow,
Andrew
we-
from about 100. No way! Par.
Just tosses that pig in there.
He's just casually walking. He is also tired of the stress. He gets to move on to the next hole, not having to putt. Here's Garrett for a birdie. 45, 50 feet. Bang! Give us that Gatekeeper rewind.
He knew it pretty early.
I'm loving that little stepper he's doing.
Yeah, he's been hitting more putts over the last month or so.
That's got to feel good. Oh, Matt misses another one. It's definitely a treat to have 2 out of 3 rollers capitalized for the birdie on this technical hole.
right, hole 6. It's 480. There's an OB road on your right. Somewhat of a low ceiling, at least for this distance. It's kind of the perfect ceiling to be able to test the power of these top players.
I think of this as a fieldwork hole. You know, if you're a local, I feel like this is just the perfect place to sit and unload your bag. Matt has put a great move on this shot.
Yeah, I mean, if you can spin it out to 500 feet without any room to shape from left to right or just throw a towering shot, you know, you're doing some good things.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the place to study how the pros are throwing this far. Because if you're throwing a 480-foot golf shot like Garrett just did, you can do well anywhere. Matt has put another great move on it, and this is going to shape up nicely as well. Just outside circle 1. And Andrew's going backhand. A little bit too low. That is going to be a pretty simple up and down for a 3. Not sure he has the space to run the birdie. But he very well could just throw it in like he did on the last hole. Just playing a little bit unfocused right now. Here's a 55-footer. When he walks it in.
Wow. I mean, he's 4 over with a 55-footer and a 105-footer.
Oh, just perfect little teardrop.
If you could just get one restart a year, just let me just press that
Yeah,
button.
one
Just
redo.
Restart that round. I know that's happened to some of you guys out there listening. You're so excited to start a tournament, and you know, you practice all week, and then you 6 the first hole, and you just can't believe it.
It's a bad feeling.
It's a horrible feeling, and you have this whole weekend of golf ahead of you,
Yeah.
and you just.
Oh, yeah. That's back-to-back birdies. He gets rid of the 2 bogey strokes on 3 and 4. And he is back to 1 under. Garrett is slowly whittling away at those bogey strokes.
Since it was released, the Halo Wraith has been my primary driver. These discs are so juicy. It's firm, it's got a nice flight plate. I really love the plastic. The Wraith's just like a disc that everyone needs. It's the perfect combination of distance and control. Looks great, flies even better.
Hole number 7, 641, par 4, OB road all down the left side. Low ceiling, couple different gaps you can take. You can go dead straight down this left side, gives you a pretty open look at the basket, which is protected by those trees down there on the right side. Again, sidearm, backhand, roller. You see a little bit of everything here. A very well-designed tee shot. And a power roller from Matt. That was laid down quick.
Yeah, he really ripped over the top of that one.
Oh, and he gets past the guardian tree, and that is great.
Not a bad tree. It was kind of cutting into the woods there.
I remember famously in the final 9 of the World Championships here, Michael Johansson wearing a tie-dye cotton polo in front of all the crowd, threw an enormous sky roller over all the trees down the left side with a nuke, and the crowd absolutely erupted. That footage is just wonderful to watch. Actually, I believe some of Jomez's first footage was of this tournament.
Pretty special place we're playing the Tour Championship at.
Big sidearm from Andrew. Is that...
Oh, yeah, he got some help.
It did check up. And that's going to be pretty similar shot on the second.
Come on.
Keep coming.
No way.
What a creative shot.
Yeah, that was crafty. I mean, he's just outside the circle.
And
That's inside.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just not on his game. And at a certain point, the only downside to this format, Brian, is that you aren't playing the next day if you don't play well.
Yeah.
And so when a player realizes they're not going to make it, when the numbers just aren't adding up, you kind of see them concede. And you really never want to see that, but we understand.
You see it physically. It happened to me the second year that I played the Tour Championship in 2020. Instantly knew I was out of it. And you don't want to look like a fool and walk off the course,
Right.
but it's very uninspired
Yeah.
golf that you have to finish with.
And I don't know if Marwede is at that point yet, but he's close. I mean, if he shoots four over through, I mean, he's going to be 4 over through these first 7. I mean,
It's still doable.
The math is just...
Yeah, it's still doable. You definitely have to put your best foot forward, at least in this point of the round. Oh, man.
That's another one off the band. And that would have just been miraculous.
It's just
up
one
and
of
down.
those days right now. It's one thing to be hitting the cage, but when you hit the band a few times, it feels terrible after a while. But Matt has got his 3rd birdie in a row. He's 2 under par. He's back on track. 3 more birdies, and he has a passing score. Seems to be that 5 through 8 number is usually one that puts you in a safe place for the most part.
Yeah, we saw yesterday a couple 3 under pars squeak through, but I got to think that number is going to get lower as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, and as the players learn the holes and get used to playing them.
And we have, a better field playing as well. Hole 8. One of the shortest par 4s here at Hornet's Nest, coming in at 534 feet. Not a very demanding tee shot as far as distance, but you need to be precise. You want to land right here at the mouth. Give yourself a straight shot. You'll see some forehand flexes into the green here. But a hole that's very easy to get out of position on.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to reverse engineer this hole in the practice phase. You go to the spot you want your second to come from, and then find the easiest way to get to that point. And Matt has
Whoa.
thrown a fantastic first shot. He's at the base of the hill, so he might chop a flick from there. I'm not sure exactly what he has, but that's a great shot.
I haven't seen too many that good on this hole.
Yeah, usually you're seeing the driver go long or short. Garrett also going driver, wanting the skip.
And that's at least past the first wall of trees. He's early, but he can make something work from there.
And Matt has crushed his drive as well, and that's another great spot. And he gets a nice forward flare. And I think he's in a spot where a flex sidearm can be done.
Yeah.
He's stepping out. He's got a little bit of a gap to hit. Okay.
Hits the base. What a shot.
And that's his tap-in birdie that he's needed for quite some time this round.
Yeah, first birdie of the round for Andy.
And Garrett going big roller. Forehand roller yet again. And there's a putt for birdie right outside circle one. Kind of a
All right,
bold
Garrett.
play.
Yeah, definitely bold. Is this Matt's drive as well?
Yeah.
In the mouth. These are great drives, and that
Chop
needs
that.
help, and it gets through. That is fortunate.
So here's the CTP. He's going backhand putter. Oh, yeah. This is close enough.
This is as good as I've ever seen one on this hole.
The tricky part here is you're so close to the hill, you can probably barely see the basket.
But when you can spin it like that.
Exactly.
Man,
Nice and soft.
What a hole.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't capitalize on the forehand roller. There it is for Matt. 30-footer is good.
He had those birdie eyes.
When Matt gets the birdie eyes, it's game over.
I might start doing that when I'm commentating.
I mean,
Just open the eyes up.
I mean, we've both played with him when he's been pulling off shots that they seem like a fluke, but he just pulls them off time and time again, and especially when he has trick putts.
He changed my opinion of his potential this year. Not that I was ever a Matt Belt doubter or hater, but
He's amazing.
I just didn't think that he could finish the way he did over and over again this year. I knew that he could win any tournament, but to finish in the top 10 multiple times, back-to-back tournaments even,
He's still
was
getting better.
Impressive.
And here we are, hole number 9, 430-foot par 3. Tiny bend to the left. You don't get to throw a dead straight shot. Your backhand has to fade a little left before losing all of its stability and fading forward, or you have to go with a long flex sider. Matt going with the backhand. Let's see what he has here. And he's choosing to go that backdoor route, which doesn't look to be that good of a route, but it opens up a decent amount back there. So you can actually throw decently straight. You risk hitting a few trees back there. And that's high. Yeah, fades out a little bit to the left. This is shaped up for Andy's forehand. Ooh, and whatever he's throwing forehands with, that's flipping hard on him right now.
Yeah, I think it's a Wraith.
And you wonder if it's a disc that he's been throwing a while and it just so happens to finally be getting into that stage of stability. I've seen him do that a couple times already.
Yeah, we saw him do it on 3. I think he's just missing that angle out of his hand.
Yeah, there you go. 430 on a frozen rope. Just watch the beauty that is Double G. Just so compact, so powerful. The man is a freak athlete. The man can do a backhand spring. Wouldn't doubt it if he could dunk a basketball.
I'd like to see that.
I can't confirm the basketball dunk, so don't be
He can smoke
harassing him. Yeah, he can smoke some meat. I'll tell you that. Oh. And Matt's going to be 2 down through the front 9. Has some work to do, but it's very doable. The back 9 is kind of a grab bag. If you're on, you're on. You can birdie any one of those holes, but if it is not going so great for you, it can feel like an absolute chore to have to get through that back 9.
I agree with that. It just gets progressively harder, and if you are not comfortable with your release point, it is like doing the dishes.
It's so, yeah. Yes. A little bit better than doing the dishes. We are out in the woods at Hornet's Nest Park. Andrew Marwede is going to tap out here. And there you have it. Front 9 is done. Matty O, 3 down. Matt Bell right behind him at 2 under. Garrett and Andrew just 2, 3, and 4 just gave them just a headache, and they are now just trying to fight back. As you can see, Gannon Burr and Nathan Queen again.
And Chris Clemens, they played yesterday. They are all the highest seeded players during this quarterfinals. Emerson Keith as well. He's not out of it. Shot 3 under on the front.
Anything can happen right now.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Check me out on Instagram at Perks of Disc Golf. Leave me a comment. Let us know. Brian, where are you at?
Find me on Instagram at Brian_Earhart, and make sure to subscribe to the Flight Diary podcast. We will catch you for the back 9.